we have a lot of new things in the player's handbook, but we also have crafting rules. Tell me about those.
So one of the surprises waiting for people in the new book are these crafting rules that make it easier than ever before for players who've dreamt of their characters making stuff to do exactly that. And these new crafting rules piggyback on a redesign of all of the tools in the player's handbook. So we've already talked about the fact that the equipment chapter has weapon masteries for all of the weapons. Well, we also gave new rules for all of the tools in the equipment chapter. Every tool now has something you can do with it using the utilize action. So the tool actually has a concrete function in regular play, but then also the artisan's tools in particular, they now each have a list of things that you can craft with them. And so the new crafting rules interlock with the revised tools, where if you have the proficiency, you can then use that tool to craft things on that tool's list using the new crafting rules. The new crafting rules, in addition to providing you a way to make the weapons, armor, and adventuring gear in the player's handbook, also provide you an easy way to make potions of healing and also spell scrolls. Other magic items, their crafting rules are in the new Dungeon Master's Guide and are far more straightforward than the crafting rules we had in 2014. But we wanted to bring potions of healing and spell scrolls to the crafting rules in the player's handbook itself, because we already had the potion of healing in the player's handbook in 2014 as something you could buy from a regular shop. And we also now have spell scrolls on the adventuring gear list as something you can buy. And so we wanted people to be able to make those things themselves. We have also made it clearer how your tools interact with your ability scores. So if you're curious, well, what ability do I use when making a check with a tool? We now tell you that. And we've also added rules for every piece of adventuring gear in the book. So previously we had a big adventuring gear table, and only some of the items on that list had entries in the equipment chapter. Now, every single thing on the adventuring gear table has an entry in the book that tells you what that piece of equipment is for. And there are also new pieces of equipment. Some of those new pieces of equipment are there because it's just simply something we thought should be in the player's handbook. But also some of it is there to actually support the tools and the crafting system. A great example of this is when working on the cartographer's tools, I realized, well, we don't have a map for you to make. And so we now have maps you can buy in the adventuring gear section with an actual game benefit. And then in the crafting system, now there's something for someone who has proficiency with cartographer's tools to actually make. And there are several other things like that that are not only going to be fun for people to purchase from the adventuring gear table and use and play, but then also fun for people to craft if they decide to dive into this crafting system. The crafting system will also give new uses for people's hard-earned gold, and it will also let them stretch their gold further, assuming they have enough time between adventures to actually spend on crafting.
When you pre-order the digital physical bundle, you also get an exclusive digital Gold Dragon Mini for our 3D virtual tabletop, the Dragons of D&D Digital Art Book, 15 dice sets, 34 frames, and 15 backdrops. And if you pre-order the digital 2024 Player's Handbook on D&D Beyond, you get exclusive bonuses. 12 sets of digital dice representing each class, 10 new frames, and 5 new backdrops. And all of those Player's Handbook bonuses are available right now on D&D Beyond. You can find the links to all of that in this video description.
Thank you so much for watching. We have a ton of video content coming out about the new Player's Handbook and all the new Core Rulebooks, the new Monster Manual, the new Dungeon Master's Guide. So be sure to check out all of that content. And thank you for watching.